We're back and we're live with our second and final best of three of the day. It's a doubleheader here for the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. I'll be your host for today's games. I'm David L.D. Gorman of Beyond the Summit. We'll be casting Virtus.Pro versus Kaipi. This is your second winner bracket semifinals. Winner of this match moves on into the winner bracket finals, where they will be waiting. Oh God, who played earlier today? Kawa, bail me out real quickly. It was IC Cup and Fnatic, and Fnatic took that one in style, 2-0. Man, my brain is foggy today. I apologize for that, but Fnatic is waiting for the winner of this best of three. And with that being said, the draft is underway. Let's hop into it. Thank God for Kawa, saving my ass. It's definitely the first time he's done it. Just kidding, Kawa. On the Radiant side, we'll have Team Kaipi. They start out by betting off the OD and the Alchemist, and we're at it again. We're back for more. It's round 2 of Space Cow action. Forget about the D2L Grand Finals. Forget about Navi versus Mouse on the big stage at DreamHack Valencia. Come on. We got Space Cow. You can't beat that. We also have a draft without weird techno, jazz, crap music in the background. Man, I love AC. I love the D2L, but that was just bizarre, I gotta say. Some one-sided games there for sure. But I won't spoil them anymore. Virtus.Pro, the opponents for Kaipi, the Russians, will be on the dire side. They've been out a bat and a wisp, not having that first pick. Very standard. They'll go for Prophet Lifestealer. And I gotta say, as far as ways to deal with Lifestealer, if there's one hero in a game that you could consider a counter for Lifestealer, Spiritbreaker probably is that hero. He's got 3 ways to disable you through your rage. He has Charge of Darkness, which goes through BKB, and magic immunities such as Rage. He's got Greater Bash, which does the same, and he's got Nether Strike. So call it 3 ways to lock him down and prevent him from right-clicking like a boss. The ghoul should fear the cow. It's kind of weird, because normally in a zombie apocalypse, the cows are just walking sacks of meat. If you actually think about the evolution of the cow, it's very strange. Like, why would a creature evolve that way? It's basically just a walking sack of food. Cows can't run from predators. They're not particularly scary. I mean, I don't understand how evolution created such a creature, but I won't complain. It gives us milk and keeps our bones healthy after all, so... The evolution of the cow is actually something I've always found very strange and interesting. But VP, they've banned out 2 more. They banned out the Clockwork and the Timbersaw. They're not going to let Arteezy have that to work with. If you missed yesterday's games, oh my, you missed quite a series between Kaipi and EG in the winner bracket quarterfinals. The VOD should be up at youtube.com/BeyondTheSummitTV. If they're not yet, they will be soon. I know Gods was working on them. Don't know if they finished processing just yet, but... yeah, Spiritbreaker, we're back for more. We won't get his partner in crime, the Timbersaw. Let's see what else Kaipi can pull out of the hat. And as for VP, they'll work on that 3rd hero. They'll go for a Lion. Not a bad hero to deal with Spiritbreaker. You can hex him when he's charging in. One of the few ways to potentially disable him, because it's an instant cast. Normally by the time he gets close to hitting someone with charge, you're kind of screwed. Or even if he gets the charge off on your ally, potentially get the hex off, turn the fights around. So, a lot of burst damage here for VP. Some good single target lockdown. Not much team fight to speak of. Truth be told, not much for Kaipi either. But they have a cute combo. I mentioned the Space Cow, I mentioned the Spiritbreaker, but it's not just the Spiritbreaker. It's a Spiritbreaker with a Keeper of the Light. So his mobility is pretty insane. You can also surge him to give him a jump start when he begins that charge. A lot of ways to get the Spiritbreaker. I'm actually just calling him Space Cow now like it's his real name. A lot of ways to get the Spiritbreaker in and out of the fights in a hurry. You can also put Ion Shell on him to increase his damage immensely. Gonna be a tough game to run on Nature's Prophet. If you haven't played against Spiritbreaker lately, well, let me tell you, you're not missing a whole lot of fun in pubs. This guy is an absolute terror. He's a beast, and he seems to be legitimate in pro play, at least against split-pushing lineups. Now, where Spiritbreaker is very weak as a hero is in a 5v5 clash in the early to mid game. He's great at punishing split push. He's great at picking off isolated targets. but he has no AoE, he has no counter push whatsoever, and he's a melee hero. Sure, he's got ways to get into the fight, but he throws off his one single target disable, the Nether Strike, probably gets stunned if he tries to charge into 5, and then will die. And VP, not fearing the Spirit Breaker whatsoever, will pick up a Storm Spirit. They now have a Nature's Prophet, a Storm, and a Lifesteal. Great global breach, great pick-off potential, but two heroes in the Storm and the Prophet, they can be food for a Spirit Breaker in the mid-game if they get caught unawares. We'll see if Kaipi can get the jump, but truth be told, sure, they're Spirit Breaker, and I'm talking all day and all night because we don't see this hero very much, and he's certainly fascinating to watch as he makes his way into the metagame. But they don't have many other stuns. There is a natural sight, the Vice Carrier in the Darkseer, but that's still a big item to farm. There's no Lion on VP side. There's no extra lockdown for them whatsoever. Yeah. This actually could be a tough Storm to deal with. They'll need to pick up something now. Kaipi has banned out the Puck, one of the best ways to deal with Storm Spirit in the mid-game with the Blink Silence, so they don't have access to that. You either want a Silence or you want some sort of reliable lockdown, and Monoleek's okay. Monoleek's actually pretty good if you can Monoleek a Storm Spirit in the middle of a fight, but it's not a stun, right? And you can't necessarily count on getting the Monoleek off on him if he jumps on you, which he often does. Could be a bit hard. Kaipi, it's a cute pick for the Spirit Breaker, but where's the back end? Well, the back end's going to be an Arteezy Queen of Pain. He'll be the engine for this team. Has to shut down the Storm early. If they let Crazy Tame My Wild have a powerful start on the Storm, it's going to be very hard for Kaipi to deal with them in the mid-game. But if Arteezy snowballs, as he so often does, that's an early Orchid. That's a great way to shut down not only the Storm, but even heroes like Lion and Lifestealer. Lifestealer, if he can't rage, very vulnerable. Same for the Lion. So now they have a natural Hex carrier in the Darkseer, a natural Orchid carrier in the Queen of Pain, and the Spirit Breaker. Lots of single target lockdown, lots of pick-off potential for both teams. Neither team with much in the way of team fight ultimates or stuns. There's a Darkseer wall, there's Illuminate, but as far as actual lockdown goes, very lacking for both squads. So expect it to be a pretty aggressive, balls-to-the-wall, action-packed kind of game. At least I'll certainly hope for that. Now Virtus.Pro working on their final ban. They've banned out a Phantom Lancer. And Kaipi looking to see what they pick up for Eternal Envy. They don't have that carry just yet for him. As for VP, well, they probably need another support here. You could run a 4-position Nature's Prophet, but that would be a bit greedy. And Lion is a support that needs a lot of levels. Isn't that strong in the laning stage? Not that it necessarily looks like Kaipi wants to contest. Spirit Breaker Connell is just not a very strong offensive tri-lane. So you know Kaipi's probably going defensive here. You can maybe get away with something a bit greedier. There is still a Visage in the pool, ignored by both teams. Wouldn't be a bad pickup for the mid-game. Lots of physical damage, a decent way to just deal with the Spirit Breaker or Queen of Pain when they jump in. They'll go for Earthshaker, so they get another hero that can shut down Spirit Breaker when he charges, Fissure as he's charging in. And as long as you have enough time to react and set it up, that'll end the charge, and it might turn the fight around the other way. So a strong defensive support, one that doesn't need too much farm, and more AoE. So VP, I think, the much more well-rounded lineup. They actually have stuns. They've got a decent number of them now with Fissure, Electric Vortex, Hex, as well as Impale, and the Nature's Prophet to build a Hex in the mid-game of his own, and Lifestealer who can build a Basher. Plenty of lockdown for them. VP, a little bit lacking there. Just the Spirit Breaker. Sure, he's got 3 disables, even 3 that go through Rage, but it's one hero, and it's all single target. There's a Vacuum. There's 2 heroes who can build lockdown items in the Darkseer, the Queen of Pain, even a Basher on the Anti-Mage, but VP have much more natural lockdown. They're going to be the better fighting squad in these larger scale engagements, assuming equal items, assuming they don't get the jump. But of course, when you have Spirit Breaker and you have Queen of Pain, you expect to get the jump. Let's see who's going to have it. This is definitely one of those games that comes down to initiation. Both teams have great initiation. VP have Fissure, they've got the Prophet Teleport, the Storm Jumps, Lifestealer Bombs. They have lots of long-range initiate, so too to Kaipi, between Queen of Pain jumping in, Darkseer surging in, and of course the Spirit Breaker charging in. Overall, I think VP's got the much more well-rounded lineup, but if Kaipi have a good start, they have quite a few heroes that can just run away with this game. The Queen of Pain and the Spirit Breaker probably being the big ones. Eternal Envy, he is going to be playing the Anti-Mage, so Kaipi will look to contest this late game, and we'll see if they can get there. On the side of VP, the dire side, it's game 1 of a best of 3. VP, they've got KSI handling the Nature's Prophet, Illidan Storm Range on the Lifestealer, NS playing the Earthshaker. We will have 1,000 Suns, or Crazy / Tame My Wild, as he's also known, on the Storm Spirit. Arsart playing the Lion. Back to actually calling himself AA. I like Mr. Arsart. I think that's my favorite name for him. On the side of Kaipi, you've got Bone7 playing the Darkseer. You have Arteezy on the solo mid Queen of Pain. He has been pulled a bit of regen. In fact, quite a bit. 200 gold worth or so. Pylai Die on the Keeper of the Light, heading to the jungle. Come with me. Support Spirit Breaker. Had a great performance yesterday. Can he repeat it? We'll have to wait and see. As for Eternal Envy, has not been pulled at all. They're not expecting a tough lane for him. And we're going to see it again from NS. I think I actually forgot to introduce him. But yeah, the Earthshaker for VP. He'll be fissure blocking this bottom lane, looking to slow down Eternal Envy. And so, don't seem prepared for this. VP has done this quite a few times. Maybe they haven't seen those games, but generally, if you know it's coming, you put observers or sentries in the pole camp, in the ancient camp, before the creeps even spawn. So NS will be denying some golden experience to Envy. We'll also see KSI sending Trance into the jungle. So they're really looking to slow down Kaipi's supports for the time being. Although Pylai Die is starting here near the Ancients, I imagine he'll transition back into the jungle. So overall, what are we looking at for our full lane matchups? Lifesteal and Lion top, probably uncontested. It looks like Bone7's going to start in the mid lane. Are they looking for a first blood? It is a Storm. It's a hero that you really want to kill early. They're actually grouping up 4 near the mid lane. Remember, they have charge. With charge, anything is possible. They've got Ion Shell as well. We'll see Ion Shell put on Come With Me. He's going to charge in and start this off. Arteezy Shadow Strike. It'll be thrown out. They need to wait a little bit longer. Maybe not. The charge comes. Crazy. Back towards the tower. There was no Ion Shell on Come With Me before this happened. Not sure why. I think with the Ion Shell there, they actually get the kill. Well, no Ion Shell, no dice. That a few seconds of ticking that down. Now he's up to 250. He was pretty low. Arteezy only level 1. I think Kaipi just jumping the gun. If you either let Arteezy get level 2, or you make sure the Ion Shell's on your Spirit Breaker, you all but secure a first blood. Still, Come With Me's wrapping around. Now we'll go for a Courier Snipe. Man, they just do not want to let the Storm over start. I think he's actually going to die anyway. The charge comes in again. Now Arteezy blinking forward. The first blood will go to Pylai Die. If you fail once, just try again. You'll probably have better luck that time. Bottom lane, we have seen some ancient pulling of the creeps and then KSI farming them. So they're doing a nice job of slowing down Eternal Envy. Only 2-2, despite basically being uncontested, meaning there's no one in the lane who's harassing him. There's no one who's messing up his last hitting directly. It's just the VP is not letting him see creeps. Doing a good job pulling them to the Ancients. They do get a first blood mid. They slow down the Storm, but Anti-Mage is being also stifled quite a bit. And you compare that to Illidan on the Lifestealer. He's having a grand old time. So all things considered, we'll see Bone7 back into the jungle. And Salving up now, hits level 2. About 2 minutes in, we'll see where that rune spawns. But with Arteezy getting the first blood on Crazy, he's going to have a very tough time. And the beatdown isn't over just yet. Charging right back in. This time they've got the Ion Shell and Come With Me. And it's a whole lot of trouble for Tame My Wild. One more right click should be enough to bring him down. I don't know if this Storm unprotected mid is going to work. Not against this lineup from Kaipi. Come With Me, however, might sacrifice his own life. He doesn't have a salve. KSI will clean him up. But trading a Storm in exchange for a 4-position Spirit Breaker, a trade that Kaipi will be more than happy to make. Still, Eternal Envy has been slowed down a bit, but now he's starting to catch up. The fissure pulls continue to come, but Adenvi nonetheless sitting at 9-3. Shenanigans and just annoying tactics from KSI and VP in this bottom lane. But now that Arteezy's... Oh, not again. 3 times the charm? 3rd time's the charm? The first 2 have already been the charm. I don't even know what comes after the charm, but here we go. Another charge. Are they actually diving for this? Yes, they are. Where's the backup? Where's the Earthshaker? Where is anybody? This is 4 times in a row they've made a go on this middle lane. And at long last, they'll get crazy. I think Come With Me may die. He's tangoing up. Prophet teleport. Not available for 1 second. Oh, is that Prophet coming in? Here's the TP. Come With Me needs a lucky bash here. He needs it soon. He's just going to try and run. Now he charges. He charges in. He stuns KSI. He's still living. He jukes to the trees. Oh, God, not like this. KSI is going to go down. Spirit Breaker, too good. This hero has way too much armor, way too much HP. Great play by Come With Me. Going back in with the charge, then juking through the trees. Was still regenning from the tango. It was just enough to keep him alive. But you do have to look at VP and say they should have rotated the Earthshaker mid by now. If he was sitting mid, these charges wouldn't work. In fact, Kaipi, Arteezy using Bleak offensively probably would get caught under tower, possibly even die. And the Spirit Break almost certainly would. Don't like the fact they haven't rotated. Sure, you're slowing down Eternal Envy, but ultimately, Anti-Mage is going to find his farm in the mid-game here. If your Storm gets shut down, that is really it's the driver for your lineup. This is the hero that gets things done. Everyone else is kind of along for the ride. Lifestealer can't really walk in by himself. There's 2 blinkers on Kaipi, Queen of Pain, and Anti-Mage. There's a Darkseer Surge. There's even Spirit Breaker. You can just look to run away or charge away. You need that Storm to be able to get into the fights to make kills happen. So letting him die this many times is, well, you got to say VP probably should be protecting him more. And at long last they are, but now the damage has already been done. It's a 4-1 lead for Kaipi, 4.5 minutes in. Queen of Pain sitting at 2,400 net worth. Arteezy, call it a snowball. 3-0 and 1 already. He'll continue to roll from here. Still crazy, Tama while trying to find what levels he can. Arteezy, double no talisman, just full aggression. They do see the Earthshaker off the bottom lane. Now, I'm sure by this point, Kaipi has noticed that the lane isn't being pulled back anymore. Earthshaker illusion rune coming through. So they know Earthshaker's been near the rune. And as a result, they're playing a bit more defensively. But only a bit. Here comes your charge again. This time, Earthshaker's in position. NS comes forward. Will it be in time, though? The Fissure catches 2. And that will end the aggression. Good reaction by VP. Nice adjustment they've made. I just think they should have made it a bit sooner. But they'll blunt the aggression from Come With Me. Now he gets his boots. And Arteezy will be thwarted for now. Is Bottle Crowing? Courier will be coming back soon. They're actually double Bottle Crowing here. Bone 7's using it as well. They didn't want to laden it too much, so he left the charge in the bottle. But overall, how are we looking in our other lanes? Free farm for the Lifestealer and free farm for an Anti-Mage. Generally, you'd think the Anti-Mage is just going to get more out of that. And later on, Anti-Mage is very hard for Lifestealer to deal with by himself. But with a Storm at his side, it's possible that this Lifestealer could have a big impact. They really drive NS off this bottom lane. He's being charged. While this is happening, Arteezy posted up, but it's the action bottom. There's no mana for a Fissure. There's a Prophet TP coming through. Mana Void's there. And KSI might fall. Oh, the Bash. The Bash Lord, come with me. He's at it again. They find 2 kills, and I think everyone from Kaipi is going to live. Envy trying to tank those tower shots, but the tower not cooperating. The tower really hating on Come With Me. Now a Queen of Pain ult mid. Arteezy 1 hit away from the kill. I think he was expecting that last... I think he canceled his last auto attack by mistake there. It looked like he was mid-animation, then backed off. So, or expecting some backup that was not forthcoming. Of course, Spirit Breaker did die bottom lane. Either way, Arteezy misses a nice... would have been a really nice kill, but still, this Storm is 17 and 5. Still not level 6. We're now 6.5 minutes in. Crazy's doing a decent job considering how horrible the game has been for him this far, but even when he hits level 6, level 6 is not necessarily a full get-out-of-jail-free card. You can still be charged if you're not quick on the jump, and charge does hit you very hard. Or rather, the Storm, or the closing distance for Spirit Breaker is extremely high once he levels up charge. You might not even be able to get it off the zip in time. And once you get bashed once, get another strike to follow up, you'll die from full to nothing. So looking more towards how the mid-game is going to develop for both teams, Kaipi, basically their goal will just be for Arteezy and Come With Me to create a lot of space for Eternal Envy to farm. They want Eternal Envy to split push, so to do that, to make that happen, you want to continue to apply pressure onto the Storm, just try and spot the Lifestealer's movements. If you let the Lifestealer free farm, that's fine. Envy has a Battle Fury on the way eventually, and a Battle Fury Anti-Mage will do more than a Lifestealer as the game goes long enough. So hold on to your tier 1 top, which is what Pylai is doing. Get that early Orchid and just go to work on Crazy. And they're going to work on him again. He does get a pull off mid. He's still not level 6. Will he get it now? No, he dies first. He won't get any experience. Arteezy wants to go back in. There is a Hex. Arteezy thinking he has this kill, and he might, but there's the Hex. Patience from Arsart isn't enough. Fissure's there. Catches 2. Bone 7 in trouble. Will he go down? Yes, he will. Arteezy is still rolling, though. Does he have enough mana for one more scream? He's close. He gets it. Triple kill for the A-God. And he's going to skirt out of there. 9-4 now, 8 minutes in. I thought he'd go Orchid this game, but truthfully, a BKB is a great choice as well, because everything that VP have to lock him down is stuff that doesn't go through Magic Immunity. So if he gets a BKB, Storm can't touch him, Lion can't touch him, Earthshaker can't touch him, and he can just go hard at all these heroes. And now a charge in mid. They've gone on NS. He gets off an Enchant Totem there, then gets pulled back in. Come with me. He was just going in by himself. If this is any hero, expect the Spirit Breaker. He probably dies for that, but... Well, when you have 6 armor and 1,000 HP at level 6 with just a Gauntlet and a Branch, you're not an easy kill. He has Charge of Darkness, as well as another strike. We'll see him go for that Urn, likely. But still Envy's free farming. He isn't really keeping up with the Lifestealer, and this is where the Fissure blocks come into play. They did a nice job of limiting the number of creeps that Eternal Envy saw. So he is behind, not overwhelmingly so. As for that Lifesteal, Illidan did go for a Midas. He's gone back for the phase boots. A pretty fast Midas. I think he's had it for at least one usage. Maybe this is his second that's cooling down now. But it's been up for quite a while. A free farm lifestealer, a fast Midas for him. And there was nobody to zone out of this top lane. Just Keeper of the Light sitting at the tower. So they will secure more of a late game opportunity. Meanwhile, a charge mid. Crazy trying to bait this one out, but not enough. The Nether Strike's there. He'll go down. Now Arsart, if you TP him like this and you don't have the advantage, you just lose multiple heroes. Sticks up from Arteezy. Can he get out? He can't. Come with me. Ion Shell online. Maybe going back in, looking for a Lucky Bash. KSI, most unfortunate sprout of his life. He might end up going down for this. Bone 7 joins the fray. He's come jumping forward. He's just enraged. No, he's not. He doesn't get the kill. Now the Trance may be turning this around. Storm Spirits respawn right back into middle lane. A 2-hero fissure. It's all going horribly wrong for Kaipi now. Bone 7's probably going to fall. Come with me, heads the other direction. Drops the wall. A parting gesture, but will end up falling. Is there enough mana on the Storm to zip? Sadly, with just an old talisman, no power treads, no int treads. Or not power treads, int treads, I mean. No arcane boots. He doesn't even have the mana. Normally you can turn 2 there, but come with me, just a little bit too tanky. I think he could have gone for it, but might not have had enough for a full zip and a pull. And I think he needed both to get the kill. So, well, they overextend a bit, but the beauty of Kaipi's lineup is their heroes are so tanky that they can get away with slight overextensions and emerge virtually intact. So Arteezy now working towards the BKB. In terms of net worth, your leader is that Lifestealer who started with the Midas, now getting charged top lane. They've got 3 grouped up here. Is there Infest online? Illidan, phase boots up, backing off. It's always tough playing against that Spear Breaker. Actually, come with me, canceling the charge. Now, Arsart, a great ward by him. They'll surge, come with me forward. This has been spotted. He tries to TP out. Is there another strike there? Ooh! Close. Close. It is possible if the timing's just right and you Nether Strike your opponent and they TP home, that you follow them home and Nether Strike them in the Fallon. But they've gone in mid on Arteezy. Problem is, I don't know if they've got the burst to bring him down. Arteezy's posting up when Crazy thought maybe he'd be dropping off. And now a charge forward. Another Strike already used. Arteezy, the ult cooling down in 20 seconds. Illuminate. Oh, if that hit, he would have gone. You know he wants to. He always wants to go in. That's one thing about Arteezy. If you cast him enough, you learn. He's never seen a fight he doesn't want to pick. Eternal Envy now sitting at 70 CS. Still 500 gold behind the Lifestealer, but considering Lifestealer's a Midas and considering Envy's farm is really going to skyrocket, I think he's in fine shape. Battle Fury will be coming out probably, well, he needs about, 1,000 gold? I would say he'll have it by like the 14-minute mark. Meanwhile, middle lane, they have found Arteezy. His customary aggression does get punished here, and it's going to delay his BKB. I'm not sure what he's jumped. Maybe he's trying to kill off the bottle, which was on the ground. Maybe he got baited by Crazy, or maybe he just thought he could find a solo kill. You notice all the wards they place mid. This is just really smart by Kaipi because they want to keep on diving mid. So in order to do that, they really want to know if the Lion's parked there, if the NS Earthshaker's parked there. If you don't know where those heroes are, then it's rather dangerous to go in. So good aggressive wards from them to fuel their aggressive playstyle. But still, I think VP's done a nice job of hanging on. It's now 12 minutes in. It's 1,000 gold lead for Kaipi. In terms of experience, that goes the way of VP. The Midas advantage making the difference here. And Illidan will have an armlet soon. Thing is, even if your Storms had a bad start, if the Lifestealer is this fat, you can jump in, just pull someone, and Lifestealer can kill a lot of these heroes during that pull. Queen of Pain, maybe not, but certainly a Keeper of the Light. 600 HP on him, possibly Bone 7 if you can't pop his mech in time. Even the Anti-Mage, 700 HP for Envy. Has he taken... He's only taken 2 points in stats thus far, so a little bit squishy. There will still be a window, but bottom lane, it's all about come with me. Just charging Crazy. Doesn't want to let him farm. Really bullying him. Is there going to be a TP reaction? It comes from the Prophet. Come with me. Well, he's overextended here. He'll give away a freebie. Well, that's happening. Arteezy looks to dive the middle lane. Bone 7 fishing for a vacuum. The Fissure's there. Echo as well. Bone 7 gets fingered, and now Arteezy says, okay, I want to go, but I don't have my Spirit Breaker. No partner in crime. Envy will blink away. Back to farming. The Battle Fury coming soon. Looks like I'll get the gold for it around 14 minutes. It might not actually be delivered until 14.5 to 15, but still a very timely Battle Fury, especially considering he's got all the components that really make it work for you. For maximum farming efficiency. Oh no, they might slow it down though. There's your Fissure. A well-executed gank, a zip, a pull. There's still an Impale, and there's a Hex. All the burst in the world they need to bring Eternal Envy down. They smoke, and he thought he was safe because he had an Observer Ward here, but he was very wrong. Now Illidan, maybe in a slight bit of trouble top lane. There is a charge available. He can still infest if he needs to. Illidan not really in too much trouble. They'll need to bring the whole kit and caboodle if they want to bring him down. Now the charge is thrown out. He could be infested any second. He actually goes in. He's jumping into 3. He's diving the tower. Pylai is in trouble. Pylai will go down. Where's the infest from Illidan? He gets it off. Oh, what a play. Come With Me does have Nether Strike, though. Problem is, well, can they kill these creeps? They'll need to deny their whole wave as quickly as possible. And while they're doing that, there's action elsewhere on the map. KSI farming the bottom lane. No denies forthcoming. Unfortunately, the creeps are still at the tower, so the tower is pushing. Yeah, I don't actually see them killing this lifesteal. If they go another wave, he's going to pop out and they might end up dying. Prophet, TP available, has a mech as well. Storm, decent and actually lacking on mana, so maybe he won't come. But even if Earthshaker does, well, still sitting in that Radiant creep. At long last, it's going to be denied. We'll see what happens there, but while that's happening, the tier 1 falls bottom. Give it to VP. Now Illidan pops out. Come With Me, charging immediately. He's got his ult as well. Remember, there's a mech from the Prophet. He could be jumping in soon. Come With Me. Nether Strike is thrown out. Unfortunately, the Fissure comes mid-duration on it, but it won't matter. The mech, the quick teleport reaction makes the difference. Meanwhile, while that's happening, bottom lane, Envy's been scythed up, still trying to finish that Battle Fury. He wants Arsar, but he gets completely bamboozled, completely fooled. He had a Mana Void, but he went so far in the wrong direction that he couldn't actually stop the TP. Oh boy, that is not something you see very often. Very rare for a Lion to manage to juke an Anti-Mage and a Queen of Pain and stay far enough away from either Vacuum or the Mana Void to get out. Great play from NS and somewhat underwhelming play from Kaipi there. They had a great start mid, but now they find themselves trailing 11-12, and the big thing for me is this Battle Fury for Eternal Envy is only now coming up. It's going to be more like a 16, 17-minute Battle Fury, and that gives VP a little more time to get maybe work towards a Blink Dagger on Arsart in the mid-game to get some levels on the Storm Spirit. Has gone for a lot more points than Remnant. Generally, the most cost-effective, more mana-efficient damage build is to max Overload. But the nice thing about Remnant is it's better for farming. So if you max the Remnant earlier and you're behind, you can catch up that way a little bit easier. And if your team is nice setup stuns, then you could do a little more burst damage. Because the Remnant, when it pops, does a lot more than just a single Overload proc. So it's more of a team-oriented ganking build, and also just a come-from-behind farming build for Storm Spirit. But NS is farming to Blink. If he gets this up soon, it could be trouble. And now Envy's in trouble. He's jumped into a lot of heroes. There's a Finger of Death available. They do get the kill right when his Battle Fury's up. Actually, the Finger of Death wasn't even used, but now it's thrown out on NS. Come With Me on the run. Come With Me will fall. It's all up to Captain Arteezy. He's hunting. I think he's going to find himself a Storm Spirit here. It's got to be an amazing zip to freedom. It's not really good enough. The TP out is attempted. He'll make it. Arteezy, the ult was just cooling down. Now jumping on Arsart, but Arsart stuns him. Now hexes him and TP's out. Will Arteezy be foiled again? It's going to be close. He gets out. He gets out again. What is this Lion? This guy is... He's got the moves like Jagger. My goodness. And the thing for VP is they only smoke gank with 3. They're pushing with 2 top lane while this was happening. Now the Armlet's been up on Illidan. He'll have his next damage item soon. Might be a Basher game. If you get a Basher on Illidan, then your lockdown for Arteezy becomes immense. And this is where I said in the analysis stage of the draft, in the early portions of it, the one thing Kaipi don't have a whole lot of is great team fight lockdown. They have basically one disabler. That's the Spirit Breaker. I keep on wanting to call him Space Cow. Bruno's really... He's corrupted my mind a bit in that regard. But thing is, when he's charging in, he can be pulled by the storm. He can potentially be hexed or fissured. And even if you get off the charge, it's still a single target disable in most cases. Sure, anyone you run through gets stunned, but you can't always count on that happening. And VP just have... Now they have a mech on the Prophet, so the burst damage isn't as easy to come by. Still, Arteezy is trying to farm his BKB, which means he can't feel too confident about jumping in. And it's just VP overall just moving around the map a bit better, finding the pickoffs, and anticipating Kaipi more effectively. Envy has got to play more defensively now. He's level 11. He's got his Battle Fury and treads up. Seems they're going to babysit him. The bodyguard will be the Spirit Breaker. I think I'd be more afraid of this bodyguard than I would be happy to have him on my side. Envy will be blinking down safely into his jungle, starting to farm. But now this buys VP time. NS Blink Dagger coming soon. Arsart Blink Dagger coming soon. If they get these Blink Daggers and they have Lifestealer Bombs from the Storm and a Prophet, it's like a 5-man semi-global lineup. Here's your charge on Illidan top lane, but it'll infest inside of KSI and they'll TP into Roche. And in infesting, looks like that does remove the charge. Or it was canceled immediately. I guess it removes it. That's pretty cool. You learn something new every day. VP, now in the pit. Medallion's up and Roche is dropping pretty quickly. Arteezy knows about this. He's in position. Treant's going on scout. And here comes the full brunt of Kaipi's fighting force. Arteezy blinks in. He's got a BKB. Illidan gets off the rage in time. He hasn't taken a lick of damage. In comes NS. He drops a whale of an ultimate. Bone 7 low on the backside. It's Storm trying to find the kill. Can't do it just yet. Now KSI on the run. Arsart still has a finger of death. Look for him to impale and finger soon. He's waiting. He's biding his time. He doesn't get it off. Now Arteezy. He's jumped into crazy. Is there going to be a pull? If there's a pull, Arteezy is dead. There's your pull. Finger's going to come. Boom. Shakalaka. Arsart nails it. That's another kill for VP. They did buy back on their Nature's Prophet. Now they're going to take a tier 1 off of that. The good news for Kaipi is Eternal Envy didn't die there, and I think he got some experience and assists. I don't know if he actually got a kill. It was a bit of a chaotic fight, but he lives. Of course, the downside is now you're going to give some more gold to VP. I don't know if they can actually contest this. There's no Nether Strike. There's no wall. There's no Queen of Pain, who's your big damage dealer. Yeah, looks like VP are going to take a Roche off the back of that for the cost of a profit buyback and some favorable kill trades. Great fight from them overall. That was actually without the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. He just waddled in. Now NS has the gold for it. And now nearly the Lion does as well. 2,000 gold up on Arsart and the level 2 Finger of Death. This is really going to start to hurt. Now it's, as much as Spirit Breaker was making it hard for Storm in the early to mid game, now it's really Envy who's the one who's got to be scared, because if he's split pushing off on his own, like I said before, there's basically 5 heroes who can show up out of nowhere. Double Blink Daggers. Okay, it won't be a Blink. It'll be an Aghanims for Arsart. Just wants to tank up. I guess they don't really need him to have a Blink. I mean, that's sort of your go-to support item for Lion, but truthfully, they have so many other initiators. Yeah, this is probably the smarter choice. I was just enamored with the idea of 5 heroes jumping in from across the ravine, from across the map, but you have the Earthshaker to initiate. You've got the Lifestealer Bomb. Speaking of which, Illidan now has a Desolator. And having this much physical damage is always ideal against Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, much harder to kill with nukes because of Spell Shield. He's got decent armor at 8, but it's not overwhelmingly that impressive. Normally, Anti-Mage is really high armor because he gets over-leveled, he gets a Manta Style, he gets a Butterfly, he gets a lot of agility items that give him more armor. But his armor at this stage of the game is rather piddling. It's only 32% physical damage resistance, and then when you factor in this Desolator, it's going to be a whole lot less. Envy, oh no. He's got to back off now. They'll defend this top tower. Somebody's packing a payload. Up to 3,000 gold all of a sudden is your Storm Spirit. Curious to see what Crazy goes for. There's a BKB on the Queen of Pain, so Orchid won't help you there, but everybody else is a potential Orchid kill. Anti-Mage still a long way off from his Manta Style. Scythe of Ice or Linken's will be kind of the safer option. That'll scale better into the late game. And even though Kaipi have an Anti-Mage, I would actually give the late game edge to VP. The reason I would have maybe favored Kaipi is if Envy just free farmed, didn't die, and snowballed. If Arteezy continued his great start, but he started off great. He's still doing well, 8, 3, and 4, but hasn't been keeping up in terms of farm. Only 91 CS compared to the Jungle Prophet, who's now ahead of him, KSI, and of course that Lifestealer, saying 170. But they're making a move on bottom lane. Right on to Come With Me. There's your Blink. The stuns come out. There is a Finger of Death available. Not even... Really? Really? Was that really necessary, Mr. Arsart? Well, he just wanted everyone to know who Mr. Arsart is, and we've certainly learned our lesson. I mean, the good news is he gets closer to Ags, and if you haven't heard about Lion's Aghanims upgrade, it's insane. At level 3 ultimate, it's a 20-second cooldown on the Finger of Death. That's 1,025 magic damage every 20 seconds. That's like, I think that's like 50 damage per second, and just in terms of his magical damage output. That's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, the beauty is it's not damage over time. It's burst damage, but it's a lot of damage. That's the point. And when you have that, you have all this other great single target initiation. It's hard to see how anyone on Kaipi's side lives through these fights. They're going to have to farm for a very long time. Kaipi's doing a nice job now of split pushing and just baiting out, or waiting out the Aegis, I should say. And I think that's pretty much what they have to do. They can't really take fights right now. They can't really show themselves on the map too much, because if they do, there's the Infest Bomb that can pick you off. There's the Prophet TP gank. Speaking of that Prophet, went for a 4-staff. Not actually going for a Scythe device yet, but we'll see if he goes for one. The AC guy's here, by the way, guys, so the Beyond the Summit air conditioning should be fixed soon, but we'll have a bit of a clash in the river. It looks like Illidan picks off Envy. Now Come With Me, getting pulled back in. There's an Impale. He's dead. The Anti-Mage falls. The Spirit Breaker as well. It's just not looking good for Kaipi. Continuously, the Anti-Mage dies. Time and again. Envy What's his record now? 1-3-3. It's not that many deaths, but for an anti-mage who hasn't been coming to fights and is just trying to farm, it's far too many, I feel. And I wouldn't really pin it all on Envy. I mean, I think he, you know, like the one time where he got smoke gang bottom, he did have an observer ward there. Maybe should have played more cautiously with 3 heroes off the map. But I think it's much more just VP of the kind of lineup that make it hard to play an anti-mage split pushing style properly at this point. And it's where Kaipi, what do they do at that point? Maybe we see a smoke gank, not a gank, but a bait, sit behind Envy, show perhaps the Spirit Breaker mid, because he can at least charge to join the fight. But they need to do something unusual, unorthodox, and we'll actually see it now. Bone 7 and Pylai die, 2 peas in a pod, hiding in the tree line bottom lane near the Radiant Secret Shop. I don't know if this is going to work the way they hope. They can recall in 1, but I feel like in a 3-on-3, which is often the case since VP pretty much have 2 heroes they're guaranteed, whoever's there plus the Prophet and then maybe 1 more in the neighborhood, any 3v3, I'd pretty much give VP the edge. Even like the Lion Earthshaker +1, I still think they might have the edge. They've got a lot of burst damage. Now the Lifestealer, that is all hell. Illidan continues to just accrue more and more of a gold advantage. Now up to 15k net worth, and will work towards an Assault Cuirass. No Basher yet. That can be his last item pickup. Envy now, getting close to the Manta Style. But he's at that point where Manta Style, sure, you can Manta dodge certain spells. Maybe you can Manta dodge an Impale or a Fissure. You can just use Sick Your Illusions on the Storm, somewhat limit his effectiveness in the fight. But now you have to worry about a Lifestealer who just can right-click all your illusions to death in a matter of seconds. Look at Come With Me. Gets caught in the river, or not in the river, in the jungle, and no wards even needed, just melts. Now a Dire Observer ward placed after the kill. VP so confident in their advantage that they're just going on a casual stroll through the enemy forest. They're just checking out the sights and they're killing cows along the way. Quite a safari for them, I must say. VP now pushing in the middle lane, and we'll actually see a Monovoid top lane. Storm Spirit dies. The Aegis literally just expired. What a play by Envy. I don't know if they were counting the seconds there. They well might have been, knowing Envy. He's one who always keeps a close eye on the timers, but that's a huge blunder by VP. Losing Storm right when he's getting close to that first item of the game, be it a Scythe of Vice, be it a Liquid Sphere, whatever it is. It's now delayed and deferred, and that's very concerning. The house is currently going haywire because the AC is going on and off. So if we do cut out on the broadcast, I apologize. We are trying to get it fixed so that we have more human living conditions. It is Los Angeles in the summer. It gets pretty sweltering, but the fight breaks out. It breaks out now. BKB up from Arteezy. That's going to clip too. Come with me. Hexed up. Dropping fast. He was fingered. Now he falls. But Arteezy, 2 hits. 2 hits from full to Nana. Illidan, Storm Rage, king of the castle. Oh my god. They cannot fight this guy. If they want to kill Illidan, they need to greater bash him, charge him, and Nether Strike him and throw everything at him, preferably while he's not raged so they can get off some Queen of Pain nukes. Otherwise, I just don't see it. That's just devastating. Arteezy is your second most farmed hero on Kaipi. And he died, he had like 3/4 of his HP and died in 2 auto attacks. I don't know what you do against that. Normally, I do think it's good to trade anti-mage farm for Lifestealer, but you can't die. You can't let the Lifestealer go 7-0-3. If you trade the farm, but then the kill score is this lopsided, then maybe it's not such a good trade. And now I believe it's a Basher on the way. No, a Crystallis. Who needs the lockdown? We have Earthshaker, we have Lion, we have Profitability and Scythe Device, and now we've got an Aghanims, a Mr. Arsart. God, I love that nickname. So badass. I would pay good money to watch a movie called Mr. Arsart. Is that really true? Thanks, K-Poptosis. Of course, K-Poptosis back at the helm doing the stats for us. 3 out of 4 of Ag Scepter Lions games have been Arsart games. Yeah, he really enjoys that hero. And VP just seemed to have a knack for making it work. Their movements have been very polished in this game. The one thing I really didn't like was how little they did to protect Crazy early on, but they eventually made the adjustment, and they did get some trades elsewhere. The Prophet got a lot out of the offlane. They slowed down Arteezy, or rather, Envy as the safe lane anti-mage, just constantly fissure blocking here. And they allowed the Storm to catch up just by ganking with their other 2 very farmed, very highly leveled supports. So maybe in the end it was the right call. Either way, it's certainly working for VP now. 28 minutes in, your kill score is 22-18. Advantage to VP there. Kaipi trailing by, my goodness, a lot of gold. Envy with an Invisor, and he's hunting a Courier, wants to make a play. Only has a Reign of Basilius on it, but I think it's dead here. Oh, he wants that courier, and he wants it bad. Envy, he's got the scent. Nope, now it's hasted. He's still hunting it. He'll find it now. Is he gonna... Come on, Envy, either kill it or back off. No, he'll back off. Now he blinks up into the tree and runs away. He's just playing scared, man. To be fair, as well he should be. They didn't see these 3 heroes, and those are 3 of your most... Why is it when I draw a circle, it draws like a billion lines? I have no idea. But yeah, they didn't see the Earthshaker, they didn't see the line, and they didn't see the Lifestealer. So maybe a little bit bold. I haven't seen Demon play Lion before. Maybe it would have been a little bit bold, but I feel like when you're in this kind of a deficit, you got to just take risks. Now Envy will go for a BKB, but how much does a BKB really do for you this game? Maybe you can pick off the backline supports. I suppose it's necessary, but you still just get mauled by this Lifestealer. There's no way Envy wins a right-click war 1v1. He'll need a lot of help from his team, particularly the Spirit Breaker. And you'd like for Arteezy to have a... But he's really slowed down. 10 forward 4, but the CS is just not where it normally is. He's normally very good, much like Mushi at just finding that balance between farming a lot and ganking a lot. But this game, Arteezy, it hasn't been safe for him to farm. He's been playing on the defensive, much more focused on just staying alive and finding pickoffs. So now they give away another Aegis. This one going to the Storm Spirit, I believe. Yeah. Crazy's picked it up, Tame My Wild has, and now a Scythe Device for him. A 30-minute Scythe Device. He's only worth 9k. They did shut him down mid. Make no mistake about it, Kaipi made him suffer, but now the question is, can VP break this base? Do they have the initiation, the burst damage, and the pushing power to smash through the Kaipi defenses? Remember, Kaipi do have a Darkseer wall. They can potentially get an Assault Curse Aura on their side. They can get a Lifestealer that does a whole lot of damage and just as a tanky presence on their side. And now a Zip in. 1,000 Suns, Crazy has gone in, but he'll back off. He's trying to bait out some spells, not getting any response yet. Kaipi just sitting back, biding their time. Good, decent spread from NS. Wouldn't even mind seeing him a little bit farther back. He's waiting on the sidelines. He wants to make sure he gets off that initiation. It's Envy who wants to jump on him. He knows he needs someone big, but unfortunately it's Bone7 who goes down first. Pulled in and brought down. Now a charge onto Illidan. Unfortunately, I don't know if they can actually kill Illidan. Oh no, Come With Me is in trouble. There's your Queen of Pain ult, not doing a whole lot. Illidan, no rage required. They take a melee Rex. It costs them nothing. A range Rex as well. And VP, they'll back off, they'll reset, and they'll head straight towards mid. It's game 1 of a best of 3, but they are rolling. Never mind that, they're jumping in again. Lifestealer bombs here, out they go, and down goes Come With Me. And Envy is just scratching his head. What do I do here, guys? What do I do? I think we might have lost, guys. I think we might have lost. Now VP pushing in the middle lane. 5 heroes grouped up. They're still standing strong. There's no buyback on the... Oh, big Mono Void, but doesn't even matter. That's the question. Envy does what he can, but it's not really enough. Yeah, but there's no buyback on the Spirit Breaker. There is no buyback on the Darkseer. It's a nice Mono Void. There's still an Aegis. I think if you're VP, you don't really need to push this, but they just feel so confident they're going to go for it now. They hex up Envy. There's your Blink Echo. A massive, disgusting wall from Bone7, though, might punish them here. Illuminate comes through. They've lost their Storm. Aegis has been expended. The Lifestealer, or rather the Prophet as well. But the Prophet buys back, and now Crazy zipping in, zipping out. Illidan getting charged. Oh no, he might fall. The Armlet toggles through it. Now the Fissure comes. Illidan, he'll go down, ticks down to the Ion Shell, but in comes your Finger of Death. GG from Kaipi. And VP do it in style. They've found a solution for the Spirit Cow, at least today. No match for the aggression of Arsart, for the fantastic movement in the mid-game of the Russians. Of course, it is game 2 of a best of 3. So we'll be coming back soon with that game 2. Kaipi now trailing. It is your winner bracket semifinals. The winner of this match moves on to play Fnatic. The loser drops down into the lower bracket. Nobody is eliminated off of this best of 3. But right now, VP are looking strong. Give them game 1. They now lead 1-0. It's the Corsair Summer Tour 2013. Best of 3 for this series. Game 2 will be coming up next. If you're just joining us and you haven't already heard, Corsair are doing a giveaway. Head over to gc.corsair.com and enter for your chance to win a fully stacked gaming PC from Corsair, as well as some free Dota TV tickets. On that note, guys, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be live with Game 2. Stay tuned.